Hello, everybody. Hello, and welcome back to Hell We Ride. Well, what happened last session? Well, all of you were here. Now I think of it. So everybody, roll me a d6.
3.
1.
5.
Ooh. And Nick's got a 1. Okay. Richtofen, you've been having the worst luck with these, but you get to tell us what happened last session.
Ooh.
What happened last time?
Well, we kind of made the Queen of all Witches very angry. But before that, we had to go and get the artifact book with all the dark spells in it. Lulu got Lulu'd. I don't know what happened to her. She kind of got abducted. And now we're trying to save her as well as my soul from hell as we continue our quest to find the sword.
Mm-hmm. And you guys got sidetracked because Archdevil, who you unknowingly made a deal with, wants you to get a Demon Lord's phylactery that is in hell. Sent you on this wild goose chase, and eventually you guys found the ritual to summon Baba Yaga's hut here. And as it appeared, it ran right past you guys. And as a refresher for anyone who somehow does not know what Baba Yaga's hut looks like, see, I'm off to a good start. It looks like a peasant's hut with giant chicken legs on the bottom of it, and it's constantly running. So it just ran past you guys as you were in your infernal war machines. What do you do? Do you give chase? Do you shoot at it?
Pursue.
Do you do all of the above?
Jump on a bike and pursue.
All right. On that note, then everybody needs to roll initiative.
Suddenly, action music.
Action music, they say. I'm the one to shoot up Benny Hill. Yeah, this one was about to shoot up.
No Benny Hill.
Oh.
Yeah, it's the chicken dance.
Maybe
But it's like
Benny Hill,
like a
but metal version.
Yeah, I was about to say it's a black metal version. So like,
I'm sure it exists.
you get the pick and you like drag it down the neck as it starts, you know?
13.
Okay, 13 for both Richtofen and Brakka.
5.
Ooh, that's not good.
I rolled pretty low.
What did Nix get again? Wait, I think you already said. Okay, yeah, you got 17. Gotcha. So let's see. I think Brakka has the higher dex.
+3.
And Richtofen's, I think, +2, +1.
Yeah.
Okay. So, there are fun rules for chases in Avernus. So let me pull those up. There they are. Alright, so everybody's movement speeds, I think, are pretty well set. You guys have a Demon Grinder and a Devil's Ride.
Mm-hmm.
So the Devil's Ride moves 120 feet in combat, and the Demon Grinder moves 100, so it's slightly slower. And as you guys rev your engines and you head out, to start with, Nix pretty much peels out the back tire and just straight for the hut. The hut's probably 300 feet away at this point. We're not going to keep exact track of distance for this, but you are moving slightly faster than it. Do you do anything else on your turn, or are you just you're just gunning it?
I do have one question.
Yes.
Do spells work with the vehicles?
How so?
Would I be able to Misty Step my bike forward?
No, because it's its own thing.
Okay.
You can Misty Step yourself, but not the bike.
Yeah, not doing that just yet. No, I'll just gain as much ground as on them as I can and use that as my turn.
Okay. Roll me a d20.
Straight D20.
Straight d20. We got chase rules. Might have a complication.
Uh-oh. 17.
Okay. Peel out and you keep moving, and you are almost to it already because you guys are ready in your vehicles and we're ready for this. So, Nix, you're thinking in the next few seconds you're going to be right next to it.
Cool.
The rest of the crew. Let's see who's first on your guys' ends. Brakka, what station were you in again?
I'm on the wrecking ball.
Okay. You probably don't do anything on your turn.
I can't really do anything until we get to Furlong. So, can I use a free action on my turn to just shout at Richtofen?
Hey, he's right behind you. He's the driver's seat. You guys are kind of back to back.
Right.
You're facing the back.
Yeah, I'm gonna do the thing where I just smack on the back of the truck and go, Richtofen, try and get in front of them. I got an idea.
And on that note,
That's it.
On that note, it's Richtofen's turn. So Richtofen, you're gunning it.
Oh yeah, hammer down.
All right.
Not using the NOS.
How? If I use the Ichor, how close would I gain ground on it?
You're not sure. You've never used it before.
Oh right, yeah. Different timeline.
Is this gonna be like the space bowls where I poured into the liquid Schwartz in there?
Pretty much. So you pour in some Demon Ichor?
Yeah, pour in the liquid Schwartz.
In the convenient funnel for Demon Ichor on the dash. So as you pour it in, you'll hear the engine scream and roar simultaneously since it's powered by souls.
Oh no, it's gone to plaid.
Shooting out the back, as Brakka sees, like, just barely in front of her, to her left and right, all she sees are black flames that shoot out of the back exhaust pipes. You're pretty sure if anything was behind you, it would be vaporized, as your vehicle gains an extra 30 feet in movement speed. So you actually move past Nix. And as you do, roll me a straight d20.
They did go plaid.
17.
Okay. You are right next to the hut. And then by the end of your turn. Then it is the hut's turn. The hut, of course, continues running. It seems to run in a straight line, doesn't seem to try to veer away from you guys at all or anything. But you notice that 3 stacked skulls seem to appear floating outside the hut. They seem to be floating with it. Their eye sockets burn with eerie lights. And after that, it is Koi's turn. Actually, wait, no, I need to roll for the hut. See if the hut, anything happens. Oh boy. Something happens with the hut. Okay.
Uh-oh.
Let's see. Appearing in front of all of you, some of the clouds in the sky seem to ignite and coalesce and turn into a fire tornado up ahead. And I'll need a dexterity saving throw for Richtofen, the driver, and a dexterity saving throw for the hut.
We've got cows.
I think that's the same cow.
Remember, you're using the vehicle stats, which is +0.
Ouch.
Oh boy.
14.
14. Everybody who's not completely inside the vehicle needs to give me a dexterity saving throw.
Oh boy.
Am I inside? I mean, the jumper doesn't count as inside, right?
You are half cover, so you do
Okay.
need to make the save.
How much cover do I have?
I believe you all. I think everybody has either half cover or full cover.
So that adds how much to my AC?
+2.
Okay. Natural
Thanks.
20. So that's a 20. So that's a 25 with that natural 20.
Dex saving throw?
Yeah.
8.
Wow. Okay. So Richtofen tries to steer the vehicle out of the way. Actually, Nix, you also need the dexterity saving throw with your vehicle. Now that I think about it, I think you actually have a positive in your dex stat. Yeah, you do. +4.
Shit. Not 20.
Okay.
Yes.
Only Nix in this chase is able to veer away from the giant fire tornado in time, as the other two vehicles are engulfed inside it and go through it. And
Frickin' Mad Max.
It's a little spicy in here.
yeah. What was... I think everybody but Koi got over 18 in your vehicle, right?
I got a natural 20.
I just want to make sure I'm reading this damage right.
Oof.
Yeah, okay, I am. Those of you that passed only take 46 fire damage.
For only 40. Is that 4d6 or 46?
4-6.
Oh no.
And Koi takes 92.
Oh my god.
Well, I'm obviously down.
Okay, I just want to double check you're not down.
No, I'm not down.
Okay, yeah, you
I have
guys smell.
76.
You guys smell fish sticks as you go through the fire tornado.
Does it smell better or worse than the Avernus fried chicken?
Way better.
Oh boy. That's the vehicle's turn. The hut's turn. Koi, give me a death save.
God.
A 3.
One
I'm gonna stop
fail.
using this die.
One fail. I didn't expect a 0 HP in the first 15 minutes, but
Jeez.
that's what I get for using the chase rules for hell. Yeah, you're not gonna have a complications roll. You're out. So
No.
I will loop back around to Nix. So Nix, you're right next to the hut.
Oh, so I swerve back to it?
Did
Yeah.
the hut not need to do a deck save?
It did a deck save, and it's slightly on fire.
I saw a large piece of chicken.
When I say slightly on fire, I mean the entire top of it is on fire.
Ooh.
Also,
Yeah,
I think your
so-
guys' vehicle's immune to fire. Let me double check. It would make sense it is. I think it would be silly if it wasn't.
It's made from
Yeah,
wood.
yeah, your vehicle is perfectly fine, immune to fire.
Okay, so I kind of want to do something a little particular. So stop me if I cannot do this.
Okay.
So I'm going to rev the engine on the bike, stand up on the bike, and side flip over closer to the hut, as if I was trying to land on it, as if I was trying to grab, well, I don't want to say grapple, but grab onto it and hold on.
All right.
But instead of holding on, I cast Thunder Step, so that the thunder happens right next to the hut, but I teleport back onto the bike.
What action is it for Thunderstep?
Instantaneous, one action. I can't jump and do that, can I?
The jump would be an action, but if Thunderstep is not an...
No, it is an action. It's just instantaneous.
I will say... Well, the casting time is an action, and your action would be... Just give me an acrobatics check.
Can you quicken it though?
That's right. I do have spells.
Sorcery points.
Spell points, yeah.
That's what they're
So-
for.
Sorcerer.
Okay. Yes, thank
Yeah.
you.
No problem at all. Still need an acrobatics check, though, for the
that.
jump.
That shouldn't be a problem. Let's see if that's a problem. 19 and a 4, so 23.
All right. You get up, stand on top of your seat, and you leap towards the hut. And as you do, you notice that where the beak is on the front of it, it's open. And inside you can see like the doorway, and you can see inside there seems to be like the interior of the hut. And right before you land there, you thunderstep. So what do I need to do for the vehicle, the hut?
This is an odd thing to say, but the hut needs to make a Constitution saving throw.
This is an odd situation. So
Yeah.
Con save. As to be expected, it's pretty good at those. A nat 2 does not help, though. So, go ahead.
Nice. So, of the 3d10, I have 23 thunder damage, and I'm fairly certain everybody can hear that. Yeah, up to 300 feet away.
Wow. Okay. You explode the beak, and when vehicles take a certain amount of damage, there's a damage threshold on your stats, and if it exceeds that number, it has to roll on the mishaps table. The mishaps table is a d20. I should have had the hut do it initially when it went through the fire, so I'm going to roll mishaps twice. Once for the fire tornado, and the second time for your thunderstep. So the first thing that happens as it runs through the fire tornado, that doesn't do anything visibly. Locked steering, the hut can only run forward. It was only going to run forward anyway. But for your thunderstep, it does enough damage that the vehicle actually staggers a bit and slows down. And that's Nyx's turn.
That is Nyx's turn.
This thing is still, the top of it is still engulfed in flames. And the front of it is just kind of caved in a little bit from the thunder boom damage. Up next is Brakka. Your vehicle's definitely ahead of the hut now.
All right.
In wrecking ball distance.
Nice. Before I do that, though, was I able to see our fish lady go down, or?
The screams of pain, and then probably gave it away.
Yeah, I was able to look back and see.
I'll say so. Yeah.
All right. Good. That means I can do something good. Features and trades.
Do something good in hell.
Mm-hmm. I will spend. Let's see. It's half my druid level. It's half the druid level rounded up or down for the first summer court, I think.
I mean, don't worry because I still have that nat 20 I got in the first the free nat 20 I got in the first or second session. I haven't spent yet, so if you don't want to spend stuff right now, I can just use that.
I'd rather you healed up and ready to fight. Sorry, team mom mode.
No,
Sorry,
it's
off-
awesome.
Just
Starting
curious,
off of
what is Koi's total hit points, like max?
76.
Okay. If you guys were
She's a
lower
fighter.
level, that
Yeah.
I just wanted to make sure it wasn't double, because that would have been just instant.
No, actually, D&D Beyond tells me if I'm still alive or not. It appeared the failure and success window.
Oh, cool. Oh yeah, for those that don't know, on YouTube, I'm going to be trying to use the D&D Beyond overlay on Twitch. So you might want to watch live so you can see the character's hit points go down to 0 in real time.
Yeah.
Right, so 4d6 of healing goes to Koi from expending 4 dice from my bomb of the summer court.
You don't have to describe this, but I've always wondered what would it look like when you do that.
Right.
Does like a little fey spirit like heal, like a little fairy like spins around like Zelda or
What happens with Brakka, because her for flavor, she's sort of like a Warcraft style shaman. She looks back and just her eyes sort of start to roll back in her head and sort of glow a little bit as she just extends a hand and starts speaking in Druidic. It's an odd mix of Druidic and Orc, as the wind and whatever moisture is left in the air from hell starts to spin and coalesce into the form of
wind.
Into the form and coalesce into the form of an orcish humanoid that just smiles, leans down to Koi and just gently taps her on the sternum, and there's just a brief glow of light, that's greenish light that suffuses them, and then the spirit just vanishes into wind.
I will say, because you seem to take more from like a good realm, more celestial like realm. The tiniest gap in the sky opens up, and rain pours down right on top of Koi.
Nice.
As well.
That works.
As a combo.
Yes, that's good. That's 14 hit points back to Koi. And now for my actual action, it's wrecking ball time. Even for the legs, hopefully the knees, to try and just kneecap it.
Okay.
Wow.
So what do I have to roll, and what's the modifier for it?
The wrecking ball is a melee attack plus 9 to hit.
Ooh,
Jeez.
Jimmy Christmas, let's go. It says 25 to hit.
That does hit through its armor class. So now
Right.
you get to roll 8d8 plus 4 bludgeoning damage.
Oh my gosh, let's see. Where's my d8s? Here's my d8.
4d4 plus 4.
Yep. Well,
So
8d8 plus 4.
8d8 plus 4. So it's 13.
And I'm going to preemptively roll in the mishap table again.
So let's just type this out so I've got this. Sorry, doing some math here. And that was plus 4. That was 8d8 plus 4.
Yes.
Right. So add all this together. And it equals 51 points of damage.
51. Wow. Okay. So you guys hear like the metal like of like the gears move as the arm of the wrecking ball moves to the right, and then Brakka moves the lever so it veers to the left, and following the crane arm is this giant iron ball, and it hits the right leg. I was trying to think the orientation of where it was next to you guys. And there is a very loud bone cracking noise, as it's equivalent to you just breaking the leg of a T-Rex. And it continues hobbling forward. Speed does not change from that somehow.
What?
It rolled the same thing as before. It's just running straight.
You can hop with that fast?
But it is pretty messed up.
It is limping that fast.
Yes. Oh, I know. It's chicken legs, right? You break the leg, and it's hobbling on one foot for 2 or 3 steps, and the other leg just goes snap, and it pops itself back into place and continues running. Its run speed's only 70 right now. But I don't know if you know that, but chicken legs, you can break them, and then put them right back.
That is so weird.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
I learned that from the most unconventional spot ever, and then I researched it and learned it was true. Samurai Jack, when he got turned into a chicken.
Huh.
I was thinking you were about to say something about Kevin, but okay.
He would be the one that would... Anyway. It is Richtofen's turn. Richtofen, you are now in front of the dancing hut.
All right, and the wrecking ball just was swung.
Yep.
All right, so could I counter steer in the opposite direction and bring the wrecking ball back around to strike it again?
Unfortunately, no. But you could try to steer it so the chomper is within chomping range. You know, like slow down and then get behind it so the chomper can.
Could I attempt a pit maneuver?
You're going too fast to do a pit maneuver. You'd have to be behind him to do that.
Yeah, no, I would brake to get behind it, and then once it's like near the front, turn into the leg and try to trip it up.
Yeah, sure. Just give me a straight D20 roll as you do that.
17.
Jesus, that's 3 17s in a row.
Okay, you steer it and you're right behind it. This thing's a lot easier to drive than you expected. And that's Richtofen's turn?
So wait, when I
Because that'd be your action to do that.
I was going to turn it into it and try to like clip the leg.
Oh, there are rules for you, your wheels. Let's see.
I think he's trying to use the chomper to trip it up.
Well, the wheels are like saw blades. Unfortunately, the hut is too big. You wouldn't be able to really get it with your wheels effectively.
So then we're right behind it, so the chomper can come into play.
Okay. That's when the 3 skulls notice you guys. Will seem to notice you more now, especially with the wrecking ball. And 2 of the floating skulls that are with the hut look over at Brakka. And then the third one looks over at Richtofen. And they shoot white lasers out of their eyes. So Brakka, pew pew.
Oh, shit.
You have half cover, so you have +2 to your AC currently.
Mm-hmm.
Does a 19 hit you?
It would just hit with the half cover.
Okay. and then another one before I roll damage was higher. It wasn't a crit. It was really close to it. It was net 19. And then Brakka, you currently have a +2 to your AC because you're half cover.
Mm-hmm.
Does an 18 still hit you?
With my half cover.
Sorry, Richtofen.
Oh.
Does an 18 still hit you?
With what? I would have 3/4 cover.
Is it 3/4 for the helm?
Yes.
Oh, it is. I am sorry. You have a +5 to your AC then. Would an 18 total still hit you?
It would just be deflected.
Okay, nice.
I'm glad I got dragon armor.
So, Brakka,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna need 2 Constitution saving throws.
All right. Con save. Let me do good.
That sounded like a lot more than what it was.
That's a 23 for the first one.
Okay.
And 22 for the second.
Okay. These lights are really bright as they hit you, and you take a whopping total of 13 radiant damage.
All right.
And let's see. Yeah, no, that'll be its turn. So after the dancing hut and the floating skulls around it, it is Koi's turn.
I will shoot at the legs of the hut.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, at this point, the top of the hut is no longer on fire. It's just black smoke.
Okay. 20 to hit. Dirty 20.
Actually, yeah, that hits.
Okay, I'm gonna use one superiority dice to make a trip attack. So it has to make a Constitution saving throw. I don't know because I cannot see because everything froze.
Oh no.
Uh-huh.
Actually, I'm on your character sheet right now. Let me
Okay,
look.
you can check it out.
I think it's a dex save, and if it's
It may be a dex save, yeah.
it's a strength saving throw, DC 14.
Okay.
So it attempts to make it and it gets a nat 1.
False prone.
And like the demon grinder, the dancing hut has a prone deficiency. If it rolls over and falls prone, it can't right itself and is incapacitated until flipped upright. It's currently running at 70 feet per turn.
Oh my gosh.
So there are crashing rolls. The hut's going to try to make a dexterity save, but it can't because of the malfunctions it has that automatically fails dex saves. Sorry, go ahead, Borland.
I mean, how can I do this with one arrow?
You're legless.
You're a battle master.
Like the leg repopped itself in, and your bolt hit it in the exact spot where it can't, and it trips over itself.
It just popped it out of its joint.
So how much damage did you do with your bolt?
Oh.
I know that was your first shot of many, but I think it's done.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm not gonna use anything. Actually, it's only 7 piercing damage because I wasn't sharpshooting and I rolled pretty low.
Okay. It trips over itself, falls prone, and slides 70 feet. Crashing damage, whatever speed it was going at, that's the amount of bludgeoning damage it takes. 1d6 per 10 feet, just like fall damage. So in addition to the damage you already did to it, it takes another 18 bludgeoning damage as it goes careening through the landscape.
Does it do anything to the skulls?
The skulls still float harmlessly above it.
I'm gonna say it might be time for a little bit of target practice.
And its legs, the back, the claw talons of the chicken feet are still kicking around wildly. Do you do anything else on your turn? Because that's only one part of your attack action.
Yeah, I'm gonna attack one of the skulls with the other attack I have.
Okay.
I'm gonna sharpshoot because why not?
No kill like overkill.
Exactly. That's an 18.
18.
Yeah.
Let's see. You shoot at it, and the skull like swerves out of the way, looking at you.
And I will use my bonus action to heal with second wind.
Good idea.
Yeah. You can use second wind now.
Yeah.
I just remember a while back, you're like, I'm never going to be able to use second wind.
I heal 16 points with that.
Nice.
I'm at 30 now.
Nix, it is your turn.
The house is down.
House is down, but kicking.
You brought down the house.
Hmm.
You hear a loud, I don't even know what you call that noise. Just a caw, or whatever, that echoes through the landscape.
Well, it's not gonna like me. Gonna pull around. I assume I have enough distance to get to it.
Oh, easily. It's like half your move.
I figured.
It's not moving anymore.
All right, so I'll pull in front of it, and then kick one of my legs, and do an upcast earth tremor.
All right, it auto fails if it's a dex save.
It is a dex save. How about that?
All right.
Teamwork.
So at level 3, that is 3d6 damage, and it stays prone, and is now on top of difficult terrain.
All right, it had like 10 hit points left, so.
And I just caused 13 points of damage.
Yeah, so you do that, and it stops moving for a bit, and the leg just twitches every once in a while.
I just had the best mental image that it just crumbles apart like a house of sticks, and inside is an old lady sitting in a chair just with a cup of tea, just sipping a cup of tea.
No,
As
the
the
house
dust,
disappears. All that's left is a little old lady on a bicycle.
as the dust settles, you find it odd that the straw roof of the hut is still perfectly intact. It's not burned off. But it is no longer moving, and the hut is sideways.
That is interesting.
And the floating skulls, I'll say they just like fade off, and the last thing you see is their white glowing eyes in their sockets, and then those fade off. As we end initiative. Hooray, the fire tornado didn't kill you guys. I was scared.
All right.
I rolled a fire tornado. I'm like, no, that's the worst one.
I'm so glad that I have this healing ability.
Yeah.
So now you have an immobilized, no longer dancing hut.
Sideways dancing hut.
I'll say, for convenience sake, the doorway is on the ground. Like, here's the ground, here's the door of the hut, just right there. You look inside, and you can see a cauldron and a bunch of other little knickknacks that seem to be from a hermit's hut. And for some reason, it's all orientated in the same direction as the hut. So you know the hut is bent at like a counterclockwise 90-degree angle. Everything, the gravity seems to be in that same direction. Nothing in there seems affected by what happened.
Yeah. I'll try to enter.
As you enter, give me a dexterity save. Or an acrobatics check, actually. Acrobatics check.
Oh, I'm good at those. 24.
You do not fall on your butt as you go in because the sudden gravity shift.
Okay.
Anybody else?
Nix would go in.
Okay.
I'm gonna hop off the section and start heading after them, but I'm just gonna take one of the potions from my side satchel and just uncork it and just down a healing potion. How much is that again? Healing potions are how many d4?
A healing potion, a standard healing potion is 2d4 plus 2.
All right. All right. So that's 8 healing back to me.
Nix, give me an acrobatics check.
Yay, I'm really good at those. Until the dice rolls off the goddamn desk.
No.
Whee!
So 22.
Yeah, just like Koi, you go to step in and you just seem like completely unaffected, even though gravity did just shift 90 degrees.
So would it make a difference if I wanted to say Nix would effectively like somersault in and just do a Olympic pose like that?
Yeah, with that check, you do that.
Yay.
If there was anything around, it would give you a little 10, you know.
Me and the boys would be at the entrance.
Okay. And Brock is not going in either, right? At least not initially.
Not initially. Keeping an eye out.
All right. I just wanted to make sure before I described this room. So, Koi and Nix. Inside, it appears to be a cramped cottage. It's filled to the brim with shelves, sacks, and stacks of reagents, a bubbling cauldron, and 3 other exits that lead to other rooms. One is opposite of the door you just came in. Another one is a trapdoor, but more like, like a basement trapdoor. Not a literal trap. And the third, you can see what appears to be a iron stove. And it's big enough that you can walk inside it, and it appears like there's a tunnel that goes further in from there. I don't know if you guys have seen Coraline, but kind of like that kind of like tunnel.
Dibs on not going through the oven.
No.
Hello, Ski.
You say that, and the only response you get is a stray bat who was hanging upside down in the rafters flies out of the hut. Brakka and Richtofen see a bat fly out. Squeak, squeak, squeak.
Catch the bat.
Okay.
Can I try and catch it?
Sure.
Is it
How you like bare hands? Gonna go Bear Grylls style? What's fun?
Actually, wait. A sec.
Because I'll say that's a like a sleight of hand or something. Its strength is 2. I'm not gonna make it a strength check.
What all could I make with my Druid craft? Actually, no. This is good. I'm going to, with my Druid craft, I'm going to hold out my my quarterstaff, my +2 quarterstaff, and I'm going to Druid craft on the end of it some flowers that produce some nectar-producing flowers to try and tempt it over with that.
Ooh, okay, give me an animal handling check.
Nice.
I was about to say, if you're going to do that, why not just do a net?
It's a 12.
Okay. The bat, it takes a few seconds, but it seems to notice that.
Come on.
Especially since the rest of the environment is really nasty. Oh,
Yeah.
The flowers that you produce are black lotus flowers.
Oh. Right, because yeah, that's right.
And you're like, oh yeah, that's probably some spell altering effects.
Oh, yeah.
If you recall from last session, Mordekainen's tower seemed to be specifically for testing how magic is altered in Avernus.
Right, and I remember the last time I tried Druid craft, it made black grass, and the other time it let me conjure up those metal entangling vines.
And the bat flies over. And the bat flies over, and it like gets on it, and it like wraps its wings around it to keep a good setup, and it starts licking the nectar out of the flower.
Yeah, I'm just gonna bring it back and just gently pet the bat. Does it look like a normal bat?
Nature check.
Nature check. 25.
It appears to be a Townsend's big-eared bat.
Oh, nice. But other than that, it just seems normal. There's nothing weird, magic-y about it.
Nope. For those curious, look it up. A Townsend big-eared bat.
Did you catch Bartok?
It's just a normal bat. It seems like he's scared more than anything else.
It actually seems rather complacent.
Well, now that you got nectar and just knows that this is a completely scary place.
This is just a normal Wednesday for it.
Probably. Also, these things are adorable.
It squeaks. Yeah, they are. It squeaks once at you. You know it's not saying hi. It's just being like, "Oh, I notice you're here," via echolocation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you just do a little chirp back.
Its ears twitch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Right.
So, for those of you in the hut, in the cottage,
I will turn to Nix. Should we tell the others to enter and explore together, or?
It probably doesn't hurt with a hut this small to keep some people on the outside just in case something tries to run past us.
I don't know how small it is, if it has a trapdoor on the floor, and it doesn't seem to have like a lower floor from the outside.
Well, I just don't think it's as big on the inside as we think it is. I mean, it's not blue.
It's not a police box on the side.
That's kind of what I was getting at.
you're not sure why, but you feel like it's bigger in here.
Okay, do we see any doctor-related items?
I mean, a bunch of knickknacks and stuff.
Hmm.
Oh, Brakka, back outside, the bat uses its little wing talons to hold on to your clothes, and then it just hangs upside down and goes to sleep after a meal.
Yeah, she was gonna put it in her open the cloak as just like a little soft and dark, warm place for it to nap if it wanted.
It fusses around a little bit, but then it stops moving for a while. You're pretty sure it went to sleep.
Okay. Gonna have to think of a name for you later, little buddy. Yeah, she's gonna peek her head in and is like, everything all right in there? Find anything?
Guess the bat.
You guys look outside, and you just see Brakka's head on what appears to be like the wall that actually is the ground.
Mm-hmm.
That's weird.
Do I see them in gravity inverted too?
Yeah, they look like they're walking on the side of the wall. Well, when you tilt your head, not so much.
It's weird. No, that was just her comically leaning into frame sort of thing.
Comically than anything, considering we're standing on the wall and you're poking your head through a ground like a diglet.
Fair enough.
So anyways, I look around. What doth I see? Anything specific?
The 3 different doorways. And
Besides that.
And bat guano on the ground.
Lovely.
And a few jars with a bunch of little things you'd expect from a hag, like Eye of Newt in a jar, that kind of stuff.
In that case,
A mummified monkey in a cage.
Maybe you can grab components.
A fully put together skeleton of a cat, a house cat.
okay, so I'm gonna poke my head down the trapdoor and see what I see.
Okay. Dylan, being the super awesome guy he is, made it a random table, so roll me a d6, and if you get a 6, reroll.
Okie dokie.
Suddenly guillotine.
3.
You see, when you open up the trapdoor, you hear weird noises down there. Sounds like little creatures or something. But you look down there, and it seems to be these tiny little towers that seem to be made of some kind of metal or steel. and there are lights coming through a bunch of these tiny little windows. And it almost sounds like little birds or something. You just hear like meep, 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 meep. Stuff like that as you look down there.
Okay. So I will reach into a bag, pull out a pebble, cast light, and chuck it.
Oh, it's fully lit in there.
Oh, okay. So just nothing really specific.
No, that's just what you see when you initially open up the trapdoor. Since you said you were just taking a peek.
Okay. I might as well step on into the room, see if it changes.
You open up the trapdoor and you go down the stairs. And you see what appears to be a miniature city that fills this room.
Okay, now hang on. You say miniature city. Is this like Judy Hopps and Zootopia's mini city, or am I Godzilla in this little city?
Yes. And out of character, this looks like a modern New York City.
Okay, so Godzilla then. Okay.
So in character, you don't know what these noises are, but out of character, they're little cars honking and stuff.
That's kind of cute. I am so tempted to play Godzilla right
You
now.
hear a bunch of little screams and stuff as you notice on like the opposite side of this board where the city is. That seems to be like on an island of some kind of Hatton of man. A creature comes out of the water and it walks out dramatically, and it's slightly taller than you. It's medium size. It's a medium-sized Tarrasque.
Do I have to roll initiative?
What do you do? As the rest of you hear a T-Rex roar coming out of, as the rest of you hear a T-Rex roar coming out of the
we could
trapdoor.
let the bat go in there. It'd be Mothra.
No.
I'm sorry. I just see this tiny little city that I'm effectively as tall as, if not taller, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, the Tarrasque comes out at me. Oh man!
Yeah, you are tall. You are as tall as the tallest towers here, but this Tarrasque is taller than you.
It's like King Kong versus Godzilla. I'm gonna hold my action until I find out if this thing is hostile or not.
Oh, it looks at you with hostility.
In that case, I'm not gonna take a freaking chance. And
Everybody roll initiative.
I was hoping for a surprise.
No, it definitely knows you're there.
Great. I'm turning into Abby and triggering every freaking encounter.
13.
13 as well.
21.
We need to stop copying each other.
Let me
21.
pull out the Tarrasque stats. Obviously, they're modified
Oh, thank God.
because it's
What do you
medium
think
size.
on it about? You're out front.
It's the Tarrasque. If it was a full-on Tarrasque, you would be dead.
Hmm.
There we go, Tarrasque. Does his dex change? No, it
Also, am I coming in right for everybody? It flashed on my screen and my net was unstable a second ago.
doesn't. You seem to be coming in fine on my end.
Okay.
Okay.
Might have been because I had the D&D Beyond, this, and Discord, and freaking Twitch up.
That'll do it.
Yeah. Closed all of it except DB on his here in Discord. Yeah, you should close Discord too.
Nix, what'd you get?
21.
Holy crap, okay.
Same as Koi, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
I think Koi has the better dex.
I have +3.
Yeah, I've got +2.
Okay. And Richtofen.
13 is, well,
Oh, okay. And then Brakka.
13.
You both got the same initiative as last time?
Looks
What a
like
cool-
it.
What a coincidence. Okay. Up first is Koi. Koi, the trapdoor gets opened. Your little kobold friend goes inside, and you hear a loud creature roar, because I don't think Koi's seen a T-Rex before.
No.
To be fair, neither has Nyx until now.
True.
I will rush there, of course.
Okay, you get there in half a move. You see the scene before you. You hear like some really loud dramatic music start playing as the weird creature monster comes out of the water. So I'm like, bah, 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 dun, dun, dun. I don't know Godzilla music, but
Yeah, you were close.
it has spikes on. It does have spikes on its back. It does specify it does have spikes on its carapace back. Do you do anything? Because that's just your move.
I'm going to shoot at it because it's what I do.
Next, you hear a bunch of tiny little screams. And you look down and you see a bunch of weird looking small, very, very small humanoids. Maybe an inch or two tall. And they seem to be pointing up and screaming at both you and this creature that came out of the water.
It looks like Godzilla, but due to international copyright laws, it's not.
I will load my silver bolt.
Mm-hmm.
And well, it's time to be the ineffective military.
It's called the Gilza. Mog Gilza.
Yeah. Well, I'm the Jaeger, I guess, so I'm like Triton Fury or something like that.
Here comes the JSDF.
17 to hit.
You shoot your silvered bolt, and we go like whew, the camera's down from like their perspective as this tree with a giant silver rock on the end goes flying at the creature, and it like turns its back. And for them it's it's slow motion. For you guys it's just it turns so its carapace back is facing the bolt, and your bolt deflects off of its back.
Okay, I'm not gonna just sharpshooter next shot.
And your bolt goes and into the water.
Oh. Okay.
Does it cause a tidal wave?
Luckily, it was away from the city, not towards it. And that's Koi's turn.
No, I have another shot.
Oh yeah, okay. You said sniper. That's right.
Yeah. This time I don't. So it's +9. That makes it that 20.
A 20 hits.
Okay. I will use superiority dice to where is it? Goading attack, which makes it have disadvantage if it attacks anything other than me.
Good to know.
It has to make a wisdom saving throw, I think. Yeah.
Ooh, okay. Nat 1.
Then that.
Sweet.
7.
7 damage.
16 piercing.
16.
And now that will be my turn. Yeah.
Okay. Nix, it's your turn.
I'm staring down a Tarask that's twice my size.
I'm trying to see if he actually gave a size of this city. What you're dealing with. Yeah, he didn't give a size, so it doesn't matter too much. It's difficult terrain, though, to get through the city.
Hmm. Yeah, no.
I'll say it's within 100 feet, just to be fair.
Okay. So am I in the middle of the city, or am I just on the outskirts?
You're in the... Well, say you are relatively close to the coast on the city.
Okay, so I'm wading through the water.
You're in the middle of the city.
Oh, okay.
You're just more towards the coast than the center of it. Same with
So
Koi.
you could say I'm a sorcerer of the coast.
Haha! Yes. Inspiration point if you don't have one.
Yay! I was hoping for that.
Oh, and both of you do notice immediately that when you came into this room, the wooden steps that came down here are gone, and there is a blue sky above you. The clouds are relatively close.
Okay.
What about those rows who haven't come in yet?
Those of you that haven't come in yet just heard a door close. Right after a roar. But you guys will act on your turns. So, Nyx, you're standing there and you just hear like, hey, down below you.
So, in true Godzilla fashion, I'm going to pull the same stunt I did back in the Metal Forest, rear back, and cast a lightning bolt from my mouth.
So you're Ghidorah,
A what?
the lightning dragon. Okay.
I was thinking Godzilla, but sure.
I was thinking more King Ghidorah, but he's 3 heads, so
Yeah.
that doesn't count.
Yeah, but it's lightning, so
He's got my favorite lightning breath out of any creature I've seen in movies. Anyway,
Yeah.
Is he the dopey looking head?
Kevin.
I love that meme. Sure, why not? That's a
I
dex
need-
save, right?
That it is, yes.
Nat 20.
Are you kidding?
So
me?
20.
Lovely. Let's see. Let's see.
For those at home, if you somehow do not know what a Tarrasque looks like, and the light doesn't glare on it too much,
God.
but it's as tall as Brakka.
Currently.
So it's a very tiny Tarrasque.
So it's still taller than me.
hmm
So 36. So if it's half, then it's 18.
All right. You hit it with the lightning, and it tried to dodge out of the way, and it dodged most of it, but not all of it.
But it's wet.
And then for the movement,
And it looks at you, Nyx, and roars.
no shit. For my movement, is there? You said all of the buildings are as tall, or the tallest buildings are as tall as I am.
See, I'm debating on what size Godzilla scale I should go with you guys. Should I go with the more modern ones, where he's bigger than the buildings? Or should I go with like King Kong Classic era, where some of the skyscrapers are actually taller?
Depending on your
I mean-
choice, depends on exactly what I'm about to do.
I would
King
say
Kong Classic era, it's pretty small.
you
because
guys are like, to scale, seem like you're about 100 feet tall.
Okay.
Okay, so as tall as the buildings, then.
Yeah.
Can I climb one without destroying it?
That will be difficult, but maybe possible.
I want to climb the Chrysler Tower if it is there.
Athletics check.
Just like it's gonna be just like the American Godzilla where he's just coiled around it.
Oh, in the animation.
Oh shit!
Mhm.
Of all the times to roll a nat 20, 24 for the athletics check.
Zooms in, and it just shows this blonde lady, and it just shows like a collarbone up, and she's got like a brush, and she's in a shower, and she's just boom, boom, boom. Opens up her curtains to a bathtub, and a giant kobold claw goes into her window as you climb up the building she's in. She screams, and then she looks at the camera and continues screaming.
She screams in the 30s.
Yes,
Great.
this is now the 30s New York City, not modern New York, and I'm gonna stay with that. You notice a tiny little red. You think it's a tiny little red insect buzz by you for a moment there, Nyx. Also, you can definitely thank Dylan for this.
This is wonderful.
I think I will.
Oh my God.
This is
Yeah.
awesome.
So, after Nyx's turn, who's next? There it is, Brakka. Hey, Brakka. You heard a loud roar and then doors slam out from inside the hut.
So her heart just starts going a little faster. She goes next and runs in.
Dex
Gonna
save.
hop into the deck save. Figured it would happen.
Not my fault this time.
11.
Okay, it
Okay,
might be my fault this time.
you stumble a little bit, but you don't fall prone or anything, and
Yeah.
you're in. That was like
Yep.
5 feet of your move.
And that was. Can I clearly see the trapdoor?
Yep.
It's going to take my action to pry it open, right?
I'll just say it takes the rest of your move.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna definitely open this thing, and I assume I see a Toa era display before me, a Toho festival down there.
Mm-hmm. Now, Nix and Koi, you know the ceiling cat meme? That's Brakka's face.
Yes. Like, what in the hell is going on here?
Not honestly worried about the fact that she's pulling a ceiling cat. More worried about the Tarask in front of me that's about to attack.
There's a squeak noise, and the little bat screws out of your shirt and flies in.
No. Aww.
Oh, no.
But I'm guessing that both of you just point at the Tarask and scream.
I'm on top of a building staring it down. I don't know what you're saying.
That bat is the size of a plane right now, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's like one of the bats from Fallout 76, kind of, in size.
Right, so I can see this thing in here.
Yep.
I'm just gonna entangle him.
Okay.
I'm still hanging from the ceiling. I'm not going in this place. I'm just gonna hang from the ceiling, arms out.
That's a dex save, right?
I believe that is
Or strength.
tangle. So that is strength, yeah.
All right, let's see what its strength currently is. Okay, a 19. Does that pass?
Yeah, passes.
Zooms in from the city, and you just see like the road get completely torn apart as like tree-sized thick roots come out of the city and go to entangle him, and he breaks away from them. A bunch of the city cables and stuff snap, and sparks go flying.
Tan violante.
So it sounds like we just turned into season 3 of Republic City.
And a few
No,
of the
she just became poison ivy.
I would say a few of the buildings collapsed, but you didn't technically do damage, so they're still up and fine.
Right. God damn it. Now, if I hold on to this, does it have to make that save again when it's still in that 20-foot square? However the radius is now that it's size weirded.
The city itself is difficult terrain, and when you're in the entanglement area, when you first go in there, you got to make the check, and if you pass, you're good for the rest of the spell. It's just difficult terrain. So since you were stacking difficult terrains, I'm going to say he's quarter speed when he's in that area, as long as you have that up.
All right, gonna keep that up then.
Okay. Richtofen. Brakka came in, poked her head in, and cast a spell on the trapdoor.
Alright, me and the boys are gonna come in as well. 15.
Okay, you got a 15. What about your Skelly boys?
Alright, let's see.
As they angrily doot.
It intensifies. 10, 11, 8, and 6.
Okay. I'll say the two human ones get in, and they kind of are a little jumbled, but they are able to stay upright. The two skeleton minotaurs, your Murotars, come in and trip over themselves and both fall prone. But then get back up using half their move.
Alright,
The trapdoor is 15 feet away. It's a small cottage.
okay, so with the rest of my movement, can I get to the where Brock is at?
Yeah. Brakka's already holding the trapdoor open, so you can see inside, and you see Nix on top of a fairly tiny tower. And like a miniature city down there. And some weird monster down there.
Identify the monster from this distance.
You can give me an Arcana check, Mr. Wizard.
Hey, I liked that show when I was growing up. Thank you.
For me, one, Mr. Rick.
23.
Yeah, that appears to be the legendary creature Tarask, rumored to only be one on Faerun. It is a destroyer of cities. near impossible to stop. But this one's a little bit taller than you.
Well, if it's a medium size, would it be like around the same size as me?
It's a medium-sized Tarrasque.
Mm-hmm.
So it's under 10 feet tall.
Oh, okay.
So it can still potentially be taller.
And where is it located in orientation of the city? Is it still
We're
out?
not gonna worry about it. Are you? If you're casting a spell, you're in range. It's fine.
No. I was saying if it was still out in the ocean.
Yeah,
compared to
it
the
hasn't got to move yet, so it's on the beach.
Would it be far enough from the main city that a fireball in size comparison wouldn't hurt the city?
A fireball would be like a nuke in the city.
Yeah, the fireball would hit everything, including me.
It's that small of a city, okay.
With a 20-foot radius, that would cover a lot of ground.
All right, so save the thermonuclear blast for later.
Much later.
Save for the hag.
Chromatic orb then of acid.
Okay, so the people down below just see like the sky darken a bit, and like a green-skinned hand show up, and that's what casts entanglement. And then that hand disappears, and then a black scaled hand appears, and there's like a diamond in the center of its palm spinning as you cast chromatic orb. It goes. So roll to hit.
$26.
Yeah, you hit.
It's been a while since I cast this. What's the damage? 3d8. I'll do that as an upper level spell, so 48.
Back in the tiny people's perspective, you just see like the Tarrasquezilla, and just this giant splash of acid hit it, and most of the acid splashes off into the ocean, the parts that don't hit the Tarrasque.
29 acid.
Ooh, okay. That's pretty good. There's a very loud snap, crackle, pop kind of sizzling noise coming from this creature, this Tarrasque.
I did a chemistry no-no and added acid to water.
Actually, in D&D, a lot of aquatic creatures are resistant to acid. Probably because it gets watered down in water or something. I don't know. That's not how it works in real life, but whatever. It's D&D. You guys are fighting in a miniature city with the Tarrasque. That's
fair.
Richtofen. At the end, that's your turn, right?
Yeah, for the rest of their movement, the skeletons would get close to the door.
Okay, the Murotars aren't able to get to the door in time because they fell and they had to spend a lot of their move to get up again. But the humanoid ones get up next to you.
Well, if they're next to me, I guess fire a few arrows down from the sky.
Okay.
Some rods from God.
Only from your guys' perspective in the cottage, you can see there are wooden steps that go down.
15 and 17.
Your arrows go ting ting if it's hard chitin body.
Oh, okay.
It's just then that Nix, you see tiny little creature. Looks like one of these humanoids or something. And there seems to be like the sky around him darkens, like the clouds darken, and little lightning bolts seem to like come to him like a conduit as he flies over towards this thing. You see another little thing, and it seems to have like a little bit of fire shooting out the back, causing it to fly.
What the?
And in a building near you, you see a slightly bigger version, tiny thing, and it's like green, and it's like hopping across the rooftops.
Avengers versus Godzilla. This was an actual thing. This actually happened in the comics.
Oh man.
Yeah.
I added this. This isn't in the adventure. Anyway, so
Good. I love this. This is good.
after Richtofen, who's next? Oh hey, Tarrasquezilla finally gets to go. What can
So who's
Tarrasquezilla
more
do?
pissed at?
Well, everyone's really far away. You know what? I think it's gonna grab the lighthouse it's next to. And it grabs the lighthouse and it chucks it at Nix.
Disadvantage.
That is correct. At disadvantage, that is a 29 to hit.
Wow.
Jeez.
I'm
If
assuming
it wasn't disadvantage, it would have been a crit.
So I'm assuming I don't have any chance of dodging that.
No, that's a ranged attack.
You can't get behind the building.
I'm on top of the building. Because apparently
So
I'm
you're
a
climbing
dumbass.
you're climbing up the skyscraper and you turn around and a lighthouse. But it's like, I don't know, like
What a-
half your size. Still a decent sized object being thrown at you.
I guess I protect the building that I'm climbing.
You take 17 bludgeoning damage
Yeah, it's not as bad as I was afraid of.
as it came at you really fast.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Parts of it break off. The light in the lighthouse goes and like hits somewhere in the building. That building starts to catch on fire. A few of the buildings have started to cave in a little bit from the shrapnel of the thrown lighthouse. And does it even try to move?
Well, can it move? It's on, what, 2 times difficult terrain?
Yeah, it's at quarter move right now.
Oh.
Yeah, it will scoot up a whopping 10 feet. As it moves, it tries to advance closer to you guys. Koi, maybe? Yeah, Koi's turn.
Probably. Okay, I will shoot at it probably 4 times.
Okay.
I'm
Because
sorry. Did you say 24?
No, probably 4.
Oh, okay.
Not
Sorry.
that high level fighter yet.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
Just has a winding lever on the side.
20.
20 hits.
Okay, I spend a superiority dice to do the same thing, so it can roll a wisdom save.
Okay, it's really good at those. 13.
It misses.
It misses on wisdom. That is
Yeah.
correct.
So the same thing. Still has disadvantage if it attacks someone, but it's not me.
Okay.
15 piercing damage.
All right.
Second attack. Oh. 16.
16 does not hit through its armor.
Okay, I will.
This thing seems
Actions.
really tough.
Yeah, I will action search. Okay, that's a 20 a lot. 26.
Yep.
I will spend a superiority dice. It can make a strength saving throw or fall prone.
27.
It doesn't fall prone.
This is a Tarask we're facing.
It doesn't.
14 piercing damage.
Okay, I will spoil something. It doesn't have its legendary actions or resistances,
Oh, good.
or else this would take forever.
Or else we would most likely die.
That's it.
And last attack. 20.
20 hits.
I roll a lot of 11s today. I will try to. I will try to make it full brown again.
Okay, that's a strength save.
Yeah,
27.
that's okay.
I get a feeling strength is his best stat.
I thought murder was its best stat.
21 piercing damage.
Okay, your bolts are doing a lot. Just saying. The
Okay.
bolts are stuck in it. Roars in anger.
They didn't broke though.
The ones that you hit now.
Okay.
The ones that deflected off of it, well, they either broke in half or they went flying into the ocean somewhere. Long gone.
Okay, that's all I'm going to do.
Are you going to try to move at all? Or
Uh,
I'll say you're coincidentally, like, you're kind of like crouched, and you have your now, I guess, gargantuan-sized ballista crossbow on top of one of the buildings, and you're using it as support as you fire.
yes.
Nixzilla, your turn.
Just noticed that, huh?
Yeah.
So
You are now 10 feet up.
I am on top of the building.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm so glad this happened.
Yeah, this is great.
Oh, I should roll for our tiny little heroes.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I just see a tiny little Thor, a tiny little Iron Man, and then off of my shoulder, a tiny little Hulk just go flying towards him. I'm going to do something that is probably very stupid.
Stupid's fun.
Mm-hmm.
I am going to try an upcast chromatic orb up to level 4. So that is 6d8
All right.
if it hits. So first and foremost, let's see if it hits. Yes!
Yes.
Natural 20.
Yes.
All right. So,
All right.
I need you to roll D100 as we use our world famous Xanathar's Lost Notes to Everything Else critical chart.
Alrighty, let's see what it do.
Because you might triple the damages.
Oh, baby, a triple.
Exactly.
God, that did not sound right in such a deep voice. I don't think it's going to do much with a 43.
What damage type is it?
Shoot. I did want to do lightning since the lightning bolt didn't seem to do much, so I was going to do thunder.
That actually works perfectly. Because he's now deafened. Well,
Nice.
they're now deafened. There's no specific gender on it.
Okay, so. Oh, hey, I'm up against another me. All right. So.
There's a ridiculously loud boom as your chromatic orb hits it. All of the windows on all the buildings within a 40-foot radius to your guys' scale completely shatter, start falling into the streets or in the buildings.
Sorry. Sorry.
You
Well, that's a lot of
you
casualties.
you visibly see the shockwave as the buildings actually like sway to it. Because this is a lot of thunder damage you're doing there.
Yeah.
How many dice is this?
6d8.
So 12d8 because you crit.
Yeah. So if I roll for 37 damage on the die,
Double that.
37 total.
yeah, 37 on the die, not doing the 12d6, just 6d6. So would we double that damage, or do I need to roll another 6d8?
You needed to roll another 68.
Okay. So let me write this down real quick. I don't want to lose my math. All right. So next d6 coming up. Jeez. So plus another 26. Whew, 61 damage.
Nice.
You throw the chromatic orb at it. And chromatic orb always comes from a diamond. Like there's a sparkle of the diamond as it just goes pew, 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 and it goes to the Trask. And it's just like the silhouette of the Trask And then there's just a... As the thunder damage was so much, it exploded from the inside.
Oh, shit!
Raining meat chunks.
Like an empty rubber suit.
If any of you watched Peony and Stocking, whenever they beat
Yes.
the enemies, it was always it's a really fake statue things, and then they exploded.
Yes, this is
I
so...
blew up a terrace.
Can you shoot the chromatic orb like the Ultraman Specium Ray?
Yes, yes, you can. I'll say you can.
Oh man!
diamond in one hand.
Okay.
That was so good.
By the way, you did that much damage to this. You did like half that damage to the city too, just because it was ridiculously powerful. But that's okay. So the monster's destroyed, and there's an odd silence to the city for brief moments, and then just slowly, you guys can just hear through the city cheering, and it seems to grow. And then like this tiny little ant-sized human, he seems to be red. You don't know, maybe it's full plate or something, and he just flies right up between, like, near the tip of your nose, Nix, as you like kind of like pull a cross eye to look at him, and he just like seems to nod and give you a salute, and him and the other little ones that you saw flying around go to fly off, and they seem to be going to different parts of the city to help out people that were stuck under rubble and stuff.
Since prestidigitation can help clean up things, would that be able to help clean up the city?
Yes.
I would absolutely start helping the city with just repeated prestidigitation.
Nice. We're out of initiative, by the way.
I will try to take a swim on the ocean part of the city.
Okay. As you
Seems
guys are just hanging out here, and you got rid of most of the rubble and stuff, you do notice that they've started to build a monument to you guys in the city, but it's like small size for you guys. Still
That
much
was
bigger
quick. How
than.
much do they have to pay the contractors?
And it's like a and it's just like the monument is the horrible Tarrasque monster, and then it shows like a Nyx, but Nyx looks more like a Dragonborn than a Kobold, just because they view you as such a huge monster-like creature, and it just is like your hands like this, and there's like a lightning bolt connecting between you and the Tarrasque that's like and there's like a miniature building as part of the monument, and you just see Koi with the crossbow, and there's like crossbow bolts in the Tarrasque
This is
as
great.
part of the monument.
Yeah.
Oh, and somehow, you're not sure how, but there are two giant hands that seem to be reaching down. One looks orcish and one looks draconic.
Question.
Mm-hmm.
What names did they put to us?
Give me a
How did you
perception
make that
check
important?
if you're checking.
Yes, I'm
You go to okay, so you swim back to shore, and as you swim back to shore, it does like the Baywatch thing where you go up, and like the entire beach is just filled with paparazzi, and you just see little flashing lights like. Because sexy fish lady. Even
17.
even at kaiju size.
Yeah.
I mean, even better at kaiju.
It's better. It's that one scene from the first episode of My Hero Academia where the photographers are taking a picture of Mountain Lady. Money shot.
Yeah, you're
money
Mount
shot.
Lady, essentially. The perception check is because it's so small, and you're just like squinting your eyes to try to read it,
Yeah.
and you can barely make out that it seems to. You can't understand the language, but it seems like they just give like one title for the whole monument, and you think there are numbers next to it, which you assume is the date or something on their calendar. And that's when you all notice way in the distance on the other side of the city, there is a door, a wooden door.
Yet another door?
Mhm.
Like the one that.
For you guys, it's a few hundred feet away. But you could easily avoid the rest of the city and go through the countryside to get to it.
I will try to recover my bolts first.
Okay, you see, as you're going to recover your bolts from it and stuff, there's like a big oil rig ship. For you, it's like this big. And it comes back with one of your bolts, and the bolt like takes up the entire thing.
Nice.
Did that door appear for us too?
Oh yeah,
Up on the
I'm
top?
saying like. Oh no, those of you that are up top can see that door down there, but you're still up here.
Would we be able to like reach down a hand and like pull everybody back up, or should we ask if we should go through the door?
I mean, do you want 4 skeletons trudging through downtown?
Good point.
It's
How-
like, the city is saved!
How bad does the city look, by the way?
It looks like it's over 50% of its health.
Oh, it's getting back to normal.
It's at like
Isn't-
75%. A quarter of the city kind of exploded.
Oh, okay.
We were trying to repair it.
Oh
Right.
yeah. They're starting repairs.
I was gonna say Brakka would probably see all the repairs going on, and she would be like, "I'll be right back," and she'll just like slowly lower herself down, full Half-Orc, sort of like Earth Mother descending from the heavens kind of way, and just start sort of helping like drop make a like signs with her hands, like she's dropping entangle is all it is, because she's been holding it for the Zilla thing,
Okay.
and then
just
and
give me like a performance check.
oh, good grief. Okay,
As you descend from the heavens.
right. 16.
Okay. At first, there was a little bit of screaming and stuff,
Mhm.
and then you see what looks like might be like the mayor or something, and just like calms everybody down.
Yeah, Nick. I can just see like Nick Fury or something. And then once
They're so tiny it's hard to tell.
yeah, and when then the rubble recedes, her eyes are just gonna just glow green. And some of the other areas that need refurbishing are just gonna be druid crafted to have like plants growing up from them. Like a new section of New York has just been turned into like a garden or something like that.
Okay.
Mhm.
You do that, and you just hear the tiniest little angry squeaking noises as you see what appears to be some kind of weird little vehicles that they have. It's a construction crew, and they're yelling at you.
Oh,
But you
ow.
just hear tiny. They're like got megaphones, and they're screaming at you, but you just hear like tiny little squeaks.
Just like sorry, just gonna brush and just like try and make it so that they'll go away from some places, and other places where it needs it, it'll be getting some greenery back.
Okay.
Definitely going to go to the other door, but I'm going to wait for Coy to get the arrows first.
Okay, cool. You're able to recover everything, but no, that one doesn't count. Every time I roll for you, I roll max. It's not fair. You lose 2 bolts total.
Okay. I'm starting to run low on bolts. I got 82 only.
Okay, good to know. Very
We'll
important.
make a pit stop somewhere for more bolts if we need
Next time we see Mahadi, we'll ask the blacksmith there if they can work with silver.
I have like 200 in our plane, but yeah.
So you guys finish cleaning up the city and stuff. Do you guys take any rests at all, or?
Short rest could be nice.
Yeah, short rest would definitely be
Sure,
nice.
this would be good.
Yeah, I'll say that was like koi swimming in their ocean.
What's going on down there?
Nothing
Just-
anymore.
Just cleaning up.
Should I send the boys down?
There, no, we're good.
So as you guys finish your rest, your short rest. There's a door. It seems to be the only door you guys have access to. There is of course Richtofen up above still, but you can go either or.
What are the doors? Wasn't there other doors in this room upstairs?
Yes, in the cottage room, in the hut, in room 1, the entranceway, there was 3 different places you could go that didn't include leaving the hut. One was the trapdoor, which is where the Trask stuff was. The second one was a doorway on the opposite side of this room. And the third one appears to be some like an oven, like a wood oven, but the opening hatch is completely open, and you see it's like a tunnel that leads further in.
Check out the door across the other room.
Okay, roll me a d6. Reroll if you get a 3 or a 6.
It's got 2 6s back to back. 3.
All right, another reroll.
5.
Okay. Ooh, whoa, this is weird. Yeah, I know, weird, right? Like, the miniature city wasn't weird enough. You see, on the other side of the store, it seems to be open archways, and it seems to lead into this large room that seems to be a museum of some sort.
Take a look.
Inside, you see what appears to be some kind of lady. She has a veil over her face, and her skin seems to have a very marbled look to it, and her hair is snakes. And she says,
We're closing that door.
and she says, "Hello, welcome to the museum. I'm Wilhelma. Touch with your eyes, not with your hands." Okay. As you close the door on her.
We're not dealing with a Medusa right now.
Well, they're little. They're like
Wow, rude.
Slam. Lock, lock, lock.
Oh, Brakka, you notice that the giant bat has found a bunch of power cables, and it's just hanging upside down on them, sleeping.
No. Just like gently gonna pull the bat out. It's like just looks at the tiny townsfolk and just be like, sorry. Just get him back into the cloak.
Hey guys, there's a Medusa up here.
What?
Lady with steak hair.
Ask her about Baba Yaga.
I ain't asking nothing.
Okay, that's fair.
I ain't gonna become a museum piece.
Oh, from the brief parts of the museum you did see, they weren't stone statues. They seem to be of different random objects that I'll describe further if you guys go that way. So those of you in Tarask City, I guess, I don't know. There's a door you can lead out to, or there's the way back you came, and Richtofen can pull you out.
I'll try to peek in the door in this room.
Okay.
I will peek with.
As you peek inside, you see it seems to be inside a one-room house that seems to be completely made of sweets. You see a bed made of fluffy cake, armchairs made of marshmallows, a scarf made from a long fruit-flavored roll.
Oh no.
Even a gelatinous fish tank, and inside you see a red gelatinous fish that looks Swedish.
You had to say cake. Yeah, I'll go try to eat the cake bed.
Okay, you go inside, and it's to scale with you now. Like everything's back to normal scale here. And as you come inside to check out the bed, I need you to roll me a d20.
Oh no.
8.
Okay. You go over to the bed, and you go to like just put your face on the cake pillow, and the bed goes and scoots out of the way, and you fall prone onto the ground, and you can hear all the furniture laughing at you.
Oh no!
What's happening here? I asked the furniture.
It does not respond, for they do not have mouths.
They laughed though.
Koi,
That
what
is
are
a
you
good
doing in
point.
there?
Okay, it was the sound of like the furniture like scooting on the ground. It's like
Okay.
we'll go with that. Brakka, you come inside.
I'm just gonna stick my head in.
As you stick your head in, the bed's mattress frame flips up and the pillow goes flying at you as it's a cake. What is your AC?
17.
The cake hits you right in the face.
Okay, you're gonna dodge it. I'm gonna lick Brakka's face
Kinky.
to get that sweet cake.
I'm noticing a theme with both of our characters.
I mean, at least it won't jump off your face.
The cake tastes sweet, but it also tastes sour. Like candy sour,
Aw.
not like expired sour.
Oh, okay.
So
Huh.
like sour cream donuts that they sell at work.
I'm thinking Sour Patch.
The cake is sweet, Brakka is sour.
Well, I am. I obviously I am. I just got cake in my face.
I'm expecting to see that on Patreon later. Anyway,
Hey-o.
I joke.
that and the morning dew wrestling thing from when we gave the tavern its name,
Mhm.
Oh.
the streaking siren.
You see a gingerbread door on the other side of this small room. Well, it's not a small room, but on the other side of the room.
Okay, should we go further into the madness, or should we go back up top?
This is great. I want to go further.
As long as there's cake, I mean.
Nix, you poke your head in and see all this?
I went with Koi.
Oh, okay. As you poke your head in, the gelatinous fish tank flips itself over, and the red gummy fish goes flying at you, Nix, as I need a dexterity saving throw.
Oh my god.
Can I choose to fail that with my mouth open, waiting for the fish?
Yeah, sure. Roll to hit. This is just strength stat, no proficiency.
Just strength. All right.
Because I
love
don't.
this
You don't have a natural bite attack. I'm pretty sure.
New.
Kobold.
That makes 16.
You catch it in your mouth like you're a grizzly bear with the salmon going uphill or upstream.
Taste it like a dog.
It's like it's going nuts. It tastes sour but sweet. It's definitely candy. Through and through.
This is an amazing afternoon.
It's wonderful.
What is your strength mod?
+1.
Okay, so yeah, the fish stops moving after you bite down on it.
Nom 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 nom.
That's gonna be nice and said it had 2 hit points, but you got through it with your bite.
So Brakka scooped the cake off of her face by this point. It's just like licking her fingertips and just like, all right, so further into the madness, and also what should we do with Rick?
Guys, what's going on over there?
Cake.
There is a room
What?
with. She's going to poke her head back into the dimension of Mini Marvel and shout up to the dimension of the hut in hell. There's a room with cake past the room with the tiny people.
As you peek your head through the door tries to like pull a quick slam on you real quick.
Oh no!
It got a nat 2, so you're able to pull yourself in time.
I'm just like hanging halfway out the door.
Is the
And
cake
just
a
like-
lie?
No, it's real.
It's both sour and sweet, and it also apparently is alive.
Yeah, it's not the best cake. But there's a door here, so I'm pretty sure we will keep going. You should come with us.
And what's
Maybe?
left of the frosting of the corner of the cake that didn't get destroyed from throwing itself at Brakka, the frosting seems to pull out like two little arms, and they just like seem to go, when you say it didn't taste very good.
Maybe leave one or two of the skeletons to guard the place, and then come on down.
I was going to secure a rope and use it as a way to repel since the stairway was gone.
That could work too.
Hey, Scotty,
Yes.
in this room, before we move on, can I have Nix do a performance check for Be Our Guest?
Sure.
Oh, what a time to lack animated objects.
Okay, so what kind of issues would I have if me and all my boys trudge through the city over there?
None at all. I'll say you can get over there without dealing any damage.
Okay.
I got an 18 on that performance check.
Okay. As you're performing, and you're doing a pretty good job of performing, the curtains, the fruit roll-up curtains, as you're dancing and you like finish your musical and you're just like at the window and you're just like ah, at the very last note, the curtains try to wrap around you.
I'm guessing in not a friendly way.
Oh, and they got a nat 1. Oh, definitely not a friendly way. Actually, you wouldn't. Actually, with a nat 1, you probably think it did this on purpose. We'll see. $12. Okay, it's not holding anything, so it just misses.
What's the?
It seems it's the classic joke of like, I go to punch him, nat 1. You gently caress his arm.
What's the source light in this room? Light source, I mean.
There seems to be a rock candy up on the ceiling. It's glowing.
Nice.
Disco ball.
I lick it.
It is very sour, like candy sour.
Is it warm?
Yes,
Huh.
but not actual light bulb warmth, or that would have hurt.
Yeah.
How long would it take us to reach there?
You get there about now.
Don't seem
doesn't
like you're
take
too
long.
interested in this map.
Well, I'm trying to. I walk in and see what the heck is going on.
You see a kobold singing and dancing to Be Our Guests, and a koi flicking the light up.
The window curtains that are a nice bright red color that are almost fully transparent seem to wrap themselves around Nyx almost like they're like a cloak for a certain Sorcerer Supreme.
Detect magic.
Oh,
You
this is
detect
great.
transmutation magic everywhere in here.
Oh, this is so wonderful.
Oh man.
Oh, Koi. The light actually isn't hot. It's actually really cold, and your tongue gets stuck.
Oh. I have resistance to cold.
Give me a strength check.
20.
Okay. You're able to pull your tongue off, and none of it sticks to it because you had resistance to cold.
It's like a Christmas story.
Okay, don't try this, please, guys.
All right.
You look
Next
at
door.
you look at Koi's tongue, and Koi's tongue is a dark blue, just like the rock crystal candy.
Okay, next door.
As you guys are heading to the next door, a licorice that has multiple strands seems to spread out and entangle the entire room as you guys are heading to that door, and attempts to trip you guys up as everybody needs strength saves.
Oh.
Oh man, come on, Alice. Let's go deeper down the rabbit hole.
Yeah. 19.
19 as well.
21.
What
I
about?
got 21 as well.
Oh wow! Look at all you swole adventurers. You guys walk through, and it makes the classic stock rope snapping noises as you guys just get through it. It's difficult terrain, but you guys do make it to the door, and you go to open the door, and
I
as
hate licorice.
as you open the door, you immediately smell on the other side a banquet. Some really nice, like, wholesome chicken pot pie, kind of heavy soul food kind of smells.
What are the chances that's a trap?
And as you completely open the door, because that's like the first thing you guys agreed with, it's just like the smell just punches you guys in the face metaphorically. You see an old lady. You're not sure of what determined age, but she seems to be missing most of her hair. That she does have is long and white, but you can clearly see like her scalp underneath most of her head. She has like a wart on her nose. She's got I would say Eastern European kind of look to her. She's not green skinned or anything, and she has on a table a plate of 10 warm, delicious looking cookies. And she has a broom, and she seems to be sweeping up the floor in this room. Seems to be like a little dining room. It looks like maybe like an oil lantern, but there's a green flame inside that's given a nice greenish glow to the room. And she's like, "Oh, I have guests. Would you like a cookie?" She gives you a smile.
Bobby,
Detect poison.
You do not detect poison at all. No poison.
Do you still have to detect magic up though?
insight?
Roll me insight.
I have a passive insight of 18 for just.
Okay, sorry. This is not insight. This is a wisdom saving throw. If you're inspecting the cookies.
I was mostly just inspecting her. Just trying to ascertain her.
So if I'm still trying
She
to insight
seems-
on the cookies,
She seems surprisingly. Sorry, I'll go with Brakka's thing first. She seems like a very surprisingly kind old lady, but the look she gives you in her eyes seems like she could turn on you at any moment. But for now, she seems like she's in a good mood. Like maybe stay on her good side.
Right.
And then Nix, you were wisdom saving throw for the cookies.
so it's not insight for the cookies, it's wisdom. Okay.
Yes.
All right, fine. 19.
Wait a minute. No, they're not oatmeal raisin. They're chocolate chip.
But are they dangerous? That's the whole point.
Oh, you have too many. Your
Raisin
stomach might hurt.
cookies are
You think?
dangerous.
Jesus. Okay, fine. I look from the cookies up to her and I go, Baba Yaga?
That's my name. How can I help you, my sweet little dearies?
Well, we may have a bit of a problem. So, a student of yours just asked us to come see you, but at the same time, I think we may have just trashed your house.
Don't worry about it.
Okay. Side note, the Tarrasque you had in the other room, that wasn't a pet, was it?
Fluffy?
Oh, shit.
Oh shit.
Fluffy is a little bit more fluffier than he was.
Did he get into the chocolate room again?
No, I kind of exploded him.
And she gives this huge cackle laugh. I guess
Okay.
I guess I have to get him out of the clone room then.
Oh, you have clones.
Well, of course, I gotta keep my fluffy schnuckle-wilkums.
Okay, that
He
that
tends
is fair.
to explode.
Oh, he does that naturally. Okay. So I'm just going to come out and say it. We were originally sent here looking for a phylactery. Would you happen to have one?
A
I think
phylactery.
Were we sent here for a phylactery? Or we
We-
were sent here to kill her, weren't we?
You were
No.
sent here for the phylactery.
No.
Yeah, Brakka says that we're here looking for. It's all a big. It's a weird thing. It's one of our friends made a deal to save someone, and for payment, they're asking for what's called the phylactery of Kochichi.
Oh.
We're told you might know where it's at.
Oh, cost Chi-Chi's phylactery, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I might know where it's at. I mean, I did help out the poor fella with his old needing to live forever predicament.
Mm-hmm.
I could tell you where it is, but I don't know. Maybe a gift would be nice to give old Grand Baba Yaga, and maybe I'll help you little kitties out.
Okay.
Would you like a kobold?
Hey,
Hey,
Sure, which one?
no. He's a smartass, and I'm not for sale or gifting. Do you have a particular gift in mind? A gift card to the closest Old Navy?
She gets really close to you, Nix,
No.
and seems to stare into your eyes and further beyond it.
Got a coupon for Bed Bath and Beyond.
No, I don't want this one.
Oh, good. Wait, what?
Why not?
And then, since you're not wanted, now you're like, what? No, I'm like the best kobold.
is there anything in particular you're after, Baba Yaga?
Nothing really in particular.
Well,
It's just always interesting to see what outsiders can bring me.
I see.
Well,
And
I know
Brakka,
somebody gifted me their firstborn child. That was interesting.
well,
What did you do with them?
She just smiles, and you know she only has 3 teeth.
yeah, I don't think we want to answer that question.
Brakka sort of grimaces as she reaches into her pouch and she's like, well, I was saving this for later, but I suppose I can find something. She takes out her pipe of smoke monsters and the weed. Like, I got this.
Ooh, Grandma knows where to get that kind of kush.
Oh, really?
Oh,
Any particular strains you're fond of?
I can't think of any on top of my head. Give me a moment.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Anyway,
Did we just? This is the most trippiest LSD version of Alice in Wonderland.
This
We
is the
go-
best.
This is Cheech and Chong's Gone to Hell.
I'm sorry. I have to. This. We tripped up a chicken leg hut. We enter into an alternative gravity center. We go down into effectively a miniature Manhattan, explode a Tarrasque, have a statue made of us or pieces of us for the hands, and then the very next room, we have a Hansel and Gretel trap that fails to do anything other than taste good. And now we're offering weed to the old lady who fucking owns this house.
which is
Welcome.
probably the strongest being we've encountered so far.
welcome to one of the most powerful creatures from the Feywild.
Oh my god. My head hurts trying to keep up with this.
I love it.
The Feywild. This is some Feywild shit. I'm just
I
saying.
love the Feywild. This is why I love the Feywild.
Yeah, this is why I'm like, why is there not more Fey stuff in D&D?
Mhm. Yeah.
Anyway,
So
she's like, well, I do have some. I I do have some of that chong chong that I got from the Unseelie court.
Really?
Yes. She
I
goes
imagine that's pretty
she goes
powerful
to
stuff.
check out your goods.
Yeah.
Give
She
me
hands it over.
give me a retroactive survival check for you getting this in the past.
I bought that off a guy, I think.
Okay.
Or would you rather I harvest this or grew it myself? Because we had the time, I guess.
Okay, then that would be a survival.
Okay.
Still, you can either go with survival or you can go with like a persuasion check.
Survival's my better stat.
I know a Sahugan that could get you some water wheat. Seaweed.
Seaweed. 50% sea, 50%
15.
weed.
15.
She goes to sniff it, and she's like, this will work. And she just tucks it into her shirt somewhere. As she tucks it into her shirt, a single spider crawls out and goes somewhere in the room.
Oh, did she want the pipe of smoke monsters too? I was offering that as well.
No, she takes it.
Nice. And the minute Brakka sees the spider, she's like, "Oh!" And she reaches into her cloak and gently takes out the bat and is like, "Is this one of yours? I found it almost flew outside."
Rudolph, what are you doing out of your cage?
Oh, it's not named Bartok.
I'm just gonna hand it over gently.
You hand it over, and you swear for just the briefest moment, its nose glows red.
Aww. Brakka just coos softly at just like an infatuated little thing. It's like, aww.
And she just grabs it by its feet, and its wings flap out of desperation, and she just takes it over into a cage and closes it in the cage.
Oh.
I'm just glaring at Brakka this entire time.
She sits at the table. She scoots over the giant plate filled with super delicious cookies that are super awesome. Ones that your grandmother would make. And just sitting there, a little fan just sets the fan down and blows the smell towards you guys. And she takes your pipe and she like looks inside to see the soot, and you see she has like an ashtray, like she just has like a wooden bowl, and she just knocks it out and like starts to set it up.
Load it up with everything.
And as she sets it up and stuff, she tells you the location of Koshchichi's phylactery. It is. I locked it inside of a chest buried 6 feet below a tree, still green and blossoming, high in the mountains of Avernus.
I didn't think a lot of things grew green here.
So what you're saying is that we have to get high to get to it.
Exactly. As she points the mouth into the pipe at you and then puts it back in her mouth. The phylactery itself looks just like a normal hen's egg, but I'll tell you, it's not delicate at all.
That's good.
The only way to destroy it is for Koshchichi himself to smash it on his forehead. But the one who has it initially has to tell him to do so.
Interesting stipulation.
Very well.
She puffs twice and goes to hand the pipe to Brakka.
Just take it, partake.
It's your own stuff, so you know how good it is.
Yeah.
She seems
Takes a good. He just takes a good hit of it, not enough to drain most of it, just good hit, enough hit to just get a little bit of it, and just if she's willing, pass it down to whoever else wants to. Is anybody else going to want to take a whiff, or does she let Brakka, or does she want it back?
She lets you.
No, hand it over to whoever else would want it in the circle, or at the table.
Yeah.
So how
No.
often do you make phylacteries for people?
I think I've only made 3 in the last century.
And what did it cost them?
That's none of your concern. She looks at you angrily as her mood seems to completely shift from being a happy grandma, and she looks quite angry.
I would agree. After all, we're already in this already. Just not to get in too much deeper. I'm assuming the pipes makes it back to her.
Yeah, she would grab it from you, I guess, since if no one else is taking it. And her mood immediately shifts from being angry to just being very sad. And she's just like, yeah, don't get very many guests here.
Oh.
No one ever wants to see old Baba Yaga.
I'm sorry, but go ahead.
That's a shame. You seem quite nice.
No, I'm not. She pulls out a flask from her shirt out of nowhere. Starts drinking.
So
This is a cool grandma.
The flask itself seems to be made of a I'm trying to remember what it's called, like a wood knot or whatever, and it's like hollowed out.
So one, this has been the most interesting place I've been to in quite some time.
Shifts back to happy. Oh, thank you.
At least that I can remember. I do have a quick question, and I hope you're not going to get mad. It's the last thing I want to do right now is piss you off.
Yes.
How do you feel about an old student of yours?
Which one?
Shit, what was her name?
Her name was Eggwolf.
Eggwolf.
Elf?
That one.
Milf?
No. Eggwolf. Damn it.
Well, I don't know of anyone by the name of Eggwolf, but I remember my poor, sweet little Tasha. She was my favorite student.
Oh. Do we remember if that was what she also went by?
Yeah.
Said she outgrew me.
We can tell you.
As her hag hand, her claws go onto the table.
So
Brakka grimaces at that.
you wouldn't want to see them again, huh?
No, I'd rather have that bitch die.
Could you tell
Hello.
us how?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe quick and painless as her mood shifts yet again.
Well, okay. So we were kind of pointed in your direction by that student. And we could certainly take care of that if that's what you wish.
Or at least try to. She seems very powerful.
You can do what you want.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Fair enough. But yeah, that certainly points us in the right direction.
Could she point on the map to where the phylactery is located? Would she have?
Yes, of course.
No. I was asking out of character, but
And
I was asking.
her claw, yeah, she will. And her claw points to the very northern part of this map that you guys got. You see how there's like that mountain range stuff up there?
Mhm.
It's like the very middle top part between like a tower spire and that spooky looking castle. Most of the stuff is artistic liberties. It's not actually stuff in the adventure, unfortunately. But
Right.
for those at home, I'm pointing out where on the map. But currently the group is somewhere in this area, wherever the dancing hut crashed. All right. So,
Okay, well, this has been a very interesting trip, and don't get me wrong, this would be an awesome place to come back to, so we may end up visiting you again.
Mhm.
Is there anything that we can do for you as a gesture of goodwill as before we go?
Brakka's already starting to druid craft some more pot in her, between her hands, just to share.
Druid of the Kush Circle.
uh,
I actually had an idea for having this as a side business if we get back to Baldur's Gate.
what'd you think of my house? I try to make it quite hospitable for guests.
It's very entertaining. It's very nice.
I'm not sure how I feel about the Tarrasque, but that was a very interesting city, I guess.
I got it from another crystal sphere.
Really?
Yeah, there's a whole planet filled with them.
Huh.
Plenty of the Tarrasques available in the DM's Guild. Also a real thing in Spelljammer.
Oh, dang.
If I'm not mistaken, Morkios is in there somewhere.
Yeah, I guess so. That's more homebrew. But in canon, there is an actual planet of Tarrasques where there's like 50 Tarrasques just wandering the planet that are completely passive
Oh.
until visitors show up. Then they are ruthless, bloodthirsty killers, specifically for the outsiders.
Of course. Well, anyways, so yeah, does she have any sort of parting wishes at all?
Nope, she just sits there and smokes her pipe.
I'd like to ask her something before we leave.
Yes?
Would you happen to know if Tasha has any weaknesses?
She does have a fondness for demons. At least from what I remember in her studies.
Really?
Yes, there was one. There was one that she kept bringing up, that kept driving up in front of the cottage. And I was telling her, "Oh, he's a bad boy. He's not a good influence on you." And she was like, "Shut up, Mom. You don't know me. I can change him."
Oh dear.
Okay, this took a really weird turn. It was already weird to begin with.
So weird to me.
Sorry, I'm just imagining a Gwilth in like 2000s teen get up.
I just
and Gross the Demon Lord in like a biker vest.
I more pictured Gross as a greaser from Greece.
Yeah,
the pompadour and the vest and Igwilf in a poodle skirt. Oh my god.
Oh, it's so dumb. Anyway.
So good.
This episode has gone places.
This has been the best. Oh, this is so good.
So yeah, I mean, if she's not going to ask anything else of us, I'd say we kind of politely take our leave.
Mm-hmm.
As you go to take your leave, you turn around to the door, and you notice the door isn't on that wall anymore. And as you turn back to look at her, she is gone. And the room you're in is what appears to be a very deteriorated one-room cottage that appears like it's been taken over by nature in the last century or so. And you seem to be in the middle of the woods as you hear suddenly out of nowhere wildlife.
Brakka is just going to look a little dejected. She's going to slump forward, just go, "Oh, I wanted to give her a hug before we left."
The plate of cookies that were in front of you, now it's just like the table has been rotted and broken half, collapsed, and there's just like shattered bits of china on the ground.
Oh.
Not maggots on the plate, to be honest.
Is there any doors?
No, there's like the whole place has been collapsed and stuff. You guys can easily walk out of what's left of the structure.
Okay.
When we look around, is it still Avernus?
You're not sure, but the second you guys leave the cottage, I need everybody to make wisdom saving throws.
Oh boy.
Jeez.
6.
Cool.
13.
17.
And Richtofen?
Sorry, 15.
Okay. You muted, didn't you?
Koi, suddenly the world seems to get bigger as you go down to the ground. Brakka, the world seems to get smaller for you. And Richtofen, everything seems to be slightly taller. And as everyone goes to leave, next you turn around and you see a Brakka-looking giraffe, a Koi fur-patterned looking fox. And a boar that seems to have the eyes of Richtofen.
Cool.
As
What
everybody
was
but
in that
Nix,
fish?
as everyone but Nix failed the polymorph spell.
God damn it. So how long is this guy?
You all have an intelligence of 1, but you're able to tell friend from foe. You have the mental stats of the creatures you are. Now.
Oh god. How long does this last?
Mm-hmm. And I think that's actually a great spot to end it for tonight.
Oh, good grief.
They call me Mr. Pig.
As Lulu flies in.
Yay. At least we got Lulu back.
And Lulu's like, and Lulu, okay, we're not ending just yet. Lulu flies in, and it's like, oh, there you are. Oh, thank goodness I found you. Where are the others?
I think these are the others.
I don't know what the fuck's that.
That's pretty close.
I've just been through one hell of an LSD trip. I'm not 100% certain of anything.
Brakka's tongue just goes out and licks her nostril and it just goes back in.
Oh, it's such a fluffy little fox. As Lulu
Is the
comes
giraffe
in.
green?
Yes.
Yes,
It does-
because everything
have
she turns
tusks.
into is usually green. Yeah, yes, it'll have tusks too.
Cool.
Boy.
Koi, you look like a sword fox, a swordfish fox. Totally not from the doodle you gave me from PAX.
Oh. Yeah.
Great.
And Richtofen, you look almost. You actually probably look the most menacing. You're like almost draconic looking boar.
So he does look like Pumbaa.
That's Mr. Pig.
Oh my gosh.
Someone should have been turned into a meerkat.
What do you think Nix was going to get turned into if he failed?
Oh,
Or if they failed?
Ah, dang it. Boy.
I'm so glad I passed that.
And it was like, we're not far. There's a way out of this jungle over here.
Okay, quick question.
Yeah.
How did you get away from it's not Yggdrasil, god damn it.
Igwolf.
Igwolf. How'd you get away from the Tree of Life?
She seemed to cast some spell on me, and I don't remember most of what happened. But then there was this, and she like flies to her side, and you see like next to her neck there seems to be like a single jab spot. And she said, I feel a little woozy. I think she took something. But then I woke up here. And I heard you.
Hakuna Matata.
Yeah, I got nothing. I think we should end there.
Brakka's head just leans down, is just slightly, just gently nibbling on Nix's little fin, top of his head.
Realize mine are spikes, right?
Still
you mean
doing it.
The hair, right?
The hair, yeah, the frill.
It's not frill, it's a mohawk.
All right, and then that's where we'll end it. So, does anyone have any plugs or anything before we call it a night?
So I think I have one. If anybody hands you out any tiny little pills that have really weird symbols on them, you may want to think about this episode before you take them.
Was that why White Rabbit was playing in the background the entire time?
Oh, that's what that noise. Okay, that makes a little bit more sense.
Oh, I forgot the White Rabbit reference. Anyway. Anyone else got any closing statements?
Lluis still makes awesome art. Go follow the patron.
Very much so.
Follow everyone on Twitter. We are all awesome. So yeah.
Thank you.
Pill
Well,
makes
thanks.
you larger,
And,
one pill makes you small.
And on that note, we'll see you all next week and see how the group is going to get this phylactery as they enter the final part, Act 3 of this little side quest adventure.
As we try to figure out what the hell is going on.
And try and get unanimalized.
Yeah. Or don't.
Dun dun dun.
I figure if we should start rolling up new characters.
Bye,
Bye,
everybody.
everybody.
Bye.
Bye.